not eat leopard slugs, but they... Ow! This is why I wear gloves.
You're not going quickly enough.
Hello again from Normandy. It's a beautiful day here. It's cloudy and sunny and not too hot for working. And we've come to a friend's garden. We started on it last week, digging beds between the different bushes, the hydrangeas and the beautiful camellia here. And we're going to make a cottage kitchen garden for her. We're going to put beans, peas, strawberries, lettuce in here. And then we're going to move down doing root vegetables and some kale and cabbages, and then right at the bottom we're going to do some flowers as well. I brought them along, tobacco plants, passion flowers. We're going to do some teepees in the middle with different climbers in as well. So that's for today, and I brought the chickens along and they're going to finish off getting rid of any pests that are still left, because this was turf. As you can see, it's just a field, so there will be a lot of wireworms. In fact, you're raring to go, aren't you? I'm going to let you go in a minute. And I've got 2 Polish with me, golden little bantam there, and this Talbunt. And they're doing the beds. They're getting rid of the wireworms and everything, and the wood lice. And the little Cochin's pretty keen on slugs and snails, so she's doing the surrounding area. She's gone to sleep. She's done a good job so far, though. Hey, Snowflake, you okay there? We've got the goat watching us in the background. So let's get going, and we'll show you how it turns out. So I did some thinking before I brought these 3 chickens with me, because I needed them to be tame, number one. Most of my chickens are tame, but not all of them are used to being out in anything but a forest environment. And now I find that if I take some of them up to the meadow, as I have done recently, they feel really uncomfortable being in an area that they do not feel safe in. Bungle, the small golden Polish, I always take her up when we go and make hay up in the meadow, and she's fine with that. In fact, she likes being out in open spaces. So I knew she'd be all right. She's not a very big worker at the moment because she's 9 years old, and also she's a sybarite, and she loves being out in the sun and in the open. And in a forest, obviously, there are patches of sunlight, but she doesn't get perhaps as much sunlight as she now likes in her old age. So it was good to bring her. And I didn't really care whether she did much work or not. It doesn't really matter, because the Talbunt is the opposite. She never sat down. Well, she sat down once, I think. Yes, she did. I've got it on film. But most of the time she was working really hard. She's very methodical. She'll go through the ground and she'll stick at it until she's found everything she can find in it. Snowflake, the little Cochin, is interested in slugs and snails. And also because of her quite heavy plumage, she was better off in the shade. And we really needed somebody who would get rid of the slugs, because that was the problem here. It's in a field, there's obviously lots of shade. It's a beautiful area, it's got a lot of underground springs, so it's very damp and the slugs are prolific here. So we really wanted to get rid of as many as possible around the edges of the vegetable plots. So she did a sterling job. She wasn't as active as the Talbunt. She had lots of sunbaths and lots of sleeps in the shade, but again, that was her choice. The quail are gardening with us now, and they were in at the beginning as well, because before we took the compost over to the garden we were working on, they actually went through it all to make sure there was nothing of a nuisance left, like wood lice and wireworms, which will eat away at the roots of new plants. So. And then when we bring the turf back from the gardens that we've cut out, they can start going through looking for things they like before we replant the turf in our garden. The main thing I want them to eat, which they do, are wireworms. See if I can find one. But they eat at the roots of plants and they're really annoying and very delicious.
Apparently.
And they live up to their name of wireworms because they've got a very hard coat. Oops, I think it's not quick enough for you, is it? Oh, that's another thing. Somebody actually asked me the other day in a comment, do quail eat slugs? And the answer is very much so. Yes, they do. Better than hens do. I've often seen hens with chicks trying to make chicks eat slugs, and I think slugs are something that's equivalent to probably spinach. for babies, because definitely chicks are not keen on slugs, but these will eat any amount of slugs and snails. They love them. So they're very useful. And what we've got in these, a few bit. Oh, you found another slug. Well done. And eat all vegetables. Thank you. So they work on that for a bit, and then I'll be able to lay it. I've already laid some of it because we've got some rainy weather here, so it's a good time to do it. Ooh, what have you got there? That's good. Oops, what you got there? Oh, you've eaten a worm. Well, we can spare one. Ooh, what's that? That looks good. That looks like something. Oh yeah, it was. That looked like some sort of maggoty thing. Ooh, who's crawling there? Can't see any wireworms. Wireworms are usually in the base of grass roots, so he's having a go, doing things quickly enough. But they'll work over these for the next few days, and then we'll be able to plant them out and make ourselves a sort of lawn. Somewhere where we've got some grass anyway. Wild lawn. Oh, who wants this? Do you want that?
What was that? Oh, it's a worm.
Now, he's a male. He'll probably offer that to somebody. He'll make a funny noise. He won't eat it. He's offering it. But he's a bit of a con merchant, because once they get there, he eats. He's a bit of a fibber. No, all right. If you're offering that, look, he's offering you a wormy. Look, he's got one. Oh, you were too fast for him.
It's like a diamond bracelet, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look at that. What's that? What's that? What's that? That looks like something interesting. And of course, it also provides them with some valuable invertebrate protein. And then they lay eggs, which will provide us with invertebrate protein. No, without having to eat the invertebrates, but will provide us with protein, and also, hopefully, some good chicks. Where's a wireworm when you want one? Anyway, probably turn up. Oops! What did you get then? That was good. Acrobatics. Right, we'll go and get another lot. Oh, you're working well. Oops. Oh, you're working really hard, but I don't know what you're getting. There's not a lot in this one. I think they'll all be at the bottom of the car. They've been in the boot of the car, these turfs, so it's probably the best stuff is at the bottom. Still to come. You're getting a bit dusty under there, okay? I'm sorry, I haven't got anything good yet. Right, proof that quail eat slugs. You ready?
Yep.
Right, there's the slug. Here's the quail. And no, don't bite me. Look, what's that? What's that? Your favourite?
Oh, and gone.
Did you get that?
Just about.
Oh, is that another slug? Oh, another delicious slug. Delicious slug. You ready? Delicious slug. No, this way. Look. Delicious slug. Come here. Come on. No, what's this? What's that? Is that a delicious slug? You're not looking. Come here. Come here. You. What about you for a slug? Look, what's that? Oh, now you've seen it. Now you've eaten it.
Mm.
Oh, what's that? Oh, dear. Ah, is that a slug?
Bit of a gourmand, isn't she?
Oh, she's terrible to eat anything. Oh, you got stuck then. Including my glove. No, no. Oops. Ow! I'm looking for slugs as fast as I can. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Double slug. You ready?